Good afternoon and welcome. I would like to open up today's presentation by reciting a revelation that was given to one of the world's greatest inventors of all times, Mr. Thomas Alva Edison, who lived in the 19th century, and when he was but a little child, he received this revelation that helped him understand the infinite potential energy that existed in his ideas granted by infinite intelligence and how to turn them into action by the principle of infinite kinetic energy. And I quote, "Open your eyes, open your mind, open your soul. For I am all around you, and I shall grant you with infinite knowledge and all the infinite tools for the physical realization of your desires that will help you to understand me, get closer to me, only if you choose to fully listen to my voice and to believe in me." I close quote. I would like to propose a question that you may ask yourself, and you may have, or rather, you must answer with absolute honesty, even if it hurts. Do you see yourself as a source of inspiration? Do you see yourself as someone that can achieve anything that they may propose themselves? Think about it for a moment. And with this, I give an introduction for today's topic, which is faith. And why having faith in yourself is the first step to cure the illness that is plaguing the whole world, which is self-abandonment. Because when you indulge in self-abandoning yourself, which also is the most violent act which you may do to yourself, you will become a slave to all external circumstances, events, environments, and people, which will only give you negative results, and your happiness, health, and wealth will only but be negative and decrease with time. I must explain first what exactly faith is. And for this explanation, I will use the mind and body diagram, which has been already explained in many of the videos posted already. But for those who are not well acquainted, this is a representation of your mind, and this is a representation of your body. And you possess 5 fundamental senses, which are sight, hearing, taste, smell, and feeling, as in touch, along with a 6th sense, which is seldom discussed, and this is the sense of reception. In a moment I will disclose this in more detail, but faith is, shortly put, the channel that allows you to transition from your current position towards positive results, their manifestation, that come from a higher source, from that which you truly strive for, which is your dreams. And this is similarly the formula for success that every person in history has applied. Faith is but a channel, a conduit. Without faith, there exists no means for you to obtain positive results in your life, nor to achieve your dreams or your goals, whatever that they are. Without faith, there are no means of any kind of positive progress. And this is pretty much as well, faith acts as a connecting line between you or your heart to that of your dreams. And I would like to invite you for a moment, for those who have a clear dream in their minds, who have decided what exactly it is that they want in life, they will recognize the immediate feeling inside of their hearts that starts to become energized. For those who are not well acquainted with this, the heart possesses its own electrical charge, independent from the whole body, and this is a medical fact. I invite you to search that on the internet. Now I will disclose receptivity or reception. This sense is very special because only few people learn how to truly train it with the strength of that of a lifting muscle, such as Sir Nikola Tesla once said. All around you exists what is called infinite intelligence. And this is energy or a frequency that possesses infinite amount of ideas. And these ideas possess within themselves a main thought or a main dream that you may have in mind on its realization, and also a set of knowledge, tools, information, and resources. They find themselves enclosed in these ideas that are perceived through alignment with the sixth sense. It is publicly known that Thomas Alva Edison firmly believed in infinite intelligence, and as a matter of fact, he called it himself supreme intelligence, or also he called it universal energy. And in the introduction of this video, I mentioned how infinite intelligence, or that revelation that came from infinite intelligence, helped him realize the infinite potential energy that exists from the ideas that he had received, yea, even as a little child. And this I would like to explain with the equation of conservation of energy, which tells that the energy of a system is the sum of the potential energy plus the kinetic energy. And briefly explained, potential energy is, as the term holds, is something that has potential. In an abstract and a physical way is, for example, this marker has potential energy as it's standing still on my hand, and if I were to remove my hand, it's gonna fall, and as it falls, that energy is converted into kinetic energy. And this kinetic energy equals the same energy that was stored as it was standing still. Mr. Thomas Alva Edison, he clearly understood this equation and its relation to infinite intelligence. That's why he also called it universal energy, because energy can be thought as infinite intelligence that exists around you as in the form of a frequency, we can say, and this is an antenna that aligns with it. And if you align to the correct frequency, then you get to perceive these ideas with absolute clarity. That's why he developed so many inventions, because he learned how to tune in into all of these ideas. And I quote him, "Ideas are in the air." Close quote. He claimed, "If it is not me who receives this idea and puts it into action, it will be someone else." These ideas are captured by your sixth sense, and they are sent into your conscious mind for filtering if you decide to take it or not. Be known that infinite intelligence is seeking vessels that are worthy of those ideas, and it sends it to them when they have aligned perfectly. Else all of these ideas will be rushing in at once, and that's not always the case. But sometimes when some people have learned how to use their sixth sense, they may receive multiple ideas. And as we know very well, humans are not very good at multitasking. And therefore we have the capacity of thought by the conscious mind, which allows us to filter what's good and aligns with our dreams, or what is useless and could lead to a waste of time or perhaps a deviation from our dreams. Also, from the use of this equation, he knew that energy is the representation of, or infinite intelligence can be represented as energy, and the ideas hold potential energy, which is infinite. And kinetic energy, as mentioned before, is movement. It is execution or action. When one component of this does not exist, there is an error on this formula. There must be one for the other to exist as well, to balance themselves, else this will lead to zero. Mr. Thomas Alva Edison, he will perceive the ideas from infinite intelligence, he will take them in and turn them into action through inventions, as they gave him all of the knowledge, tools, information, and resources. This does not mean that you receive an idea and you know how to execute it perfectly, but it gives you the steps to obtain all of these things, as infinite intelligence is constantly testing you to see if you are worthy of the fulfillment of this idea with infinite potential that will transcend through what we call the eternal community. And this is the reality that you and I share, all living beings, all inanimate beings, time and space and events. because clearly we see that the potential energy of these ideas is still present through the illumination of this room based on the idea or the invention through his action of the light bulb. That's how Mr. Thomas Alva Edison still lives with us today, through his action. Throughout history, you may find, and not just through history, but also through books and biographies, that all inventors and people with great success shared a similar belief that ideas are in the air. In quoting Mr. Henry Ford, he said, "The air is full of ideas," which is very similar to the same way that Mr. Thomas Alva Edison said. Faith is directly connected to the feelings of your heart towards your dream. This is the line that allows this connection, and it's the channel that will give you these positive results through the crafting of a positive oriented paradigm. A paradigm is the system in which you operate in patterns. We all operate in patterns in life. By having faith that you can achieve your dreams and goals, you will create this connection that will make you move through it slowly. And through this connection, infinite intelligence will give you the steps that you will need in order to achieve all of the knowledge, tools, and information and resources to get to your goal. A way that many people have used faith in a systematic way in order to achieve or create a positive oriented paradigm is through the use of what we call a goal card. And this may be an exercise for you today to practice, and you will see great results rather soon, in a couple of days. Depending on how strong your faith is, it may be showing results even faster than that. And I personally, through the same use of that principle, have seen results happening pretty shortly. I will say that rather in a couple of 1 or 2 days, I was already feeling them. And I still practice it. When you have a goal card, it does not necessarily have to be a card, but it is a statement in which you set a goal and an oath to its realization. This goal or target must be in direct alignment with your dreams. It should be something that would make your heart become energized by it. You may do the same for something that's not on your greatest of interests, and this has been proven by different people such as Mr. Bob Proctor, Mr. Napoleon Hill, Mr. Earl Nightingale, all relevant figures in the world of self-help, great motivational speakers as well, that they manifested positive results by the use of goal cards, as also Mr. Andrew Carnegie did as well. And as I was describing, you may use any kind of goal, even if it's not directly tied to your dream, but the progress in which you will create faith will be much slower, because ultimately we do become what we think about. We, in other words, end up believing our own lies at some point, as this card you should read at least twice daily, once in the morning and once at night. But the more you read it every single day, and ideally in a consistent pattern, this is in specific times of the day, in specific amounts, the easier it will be for you to start building faith. You must do everything in your power to use the higher faculty of imagination to see yourself as not realizing that goal, but as you have already realized it. And this goal should have as well a purpose, which is of generous and kind nature. Failure to do that, thinking of a goal with a purpose that's selfish, may work, but it will be short-sighted, and you will end up in despair and in failure abruptly without notice. That is because infinite intelligence rewards those who are worthy and those who strive for doing things that may help everyone else as well, not just themselves. For those who seek to give before getting. Read this every single day, every single night. Make it an oath towards yourself and towards any other target audience that you may have or may be involved in it. It can be achieving a specific amount of money, we could say, by the end of X date. You must set specific amounts, dates, and descriptions of whatever this goal is. You must, by all means, when engaging in imagination that you have already fulfilled it, think of all of the details that there may be when you have achieved that. And you use all of your senses supercharged through imagination, through your higher faculty of imagination, to imagine what does it look like, your world around, with this goal achieved. What kind of sounds do you hear when you have achieved this goal? Perhaps in which room you are in, what are you doing? What kind of tastes do you have? Perhaps you have acquired wealth that will allow you to buy the drinks of your favorite choice constantly. Perhaps you're celebrating a specific milestone due to this. What kind of smells? Perhaps that of a perfume that you will be using for that specific achievement. Or what kind of feelings do you have? Maybe the kind of clothing that you will be wearing then. It doesn't have to be something luxurious. This is just an example. And the more closely this is oriented to the dream that you truly have in your life, this is something that makes your heart become energized. The more faith you build, that will start taking you there. Because through this, you will start building a positive oriented paradigm, as you will rather soon realize that you must discard all that is negative in your life in order to achieve, for example, deadlines or specific amounts or specific descriptions on the oath that you make to yourself. Because the whole point is to not fail yourself, to not fail others. You will day by day build more rapport with this through repetition that will create stronger faith, and day by day you will become more energized by thinking on this achievement of things, and this will have all sorts of external positive results, such as by discarding all negative things in life, you will stop engaging in addictions, because you will need the time in order to achieve the deadline and the focus in order to make the work a reality. the kinetic action that is required. Perhaps you engage in many activities that you consider waste your time, or simply you do not enjoy, or perhaps you do the work that you do not find fulfillment in. By doing this, you will start to develop a sense of motivation that will make you start every single day with the greatest joy, yea, even that of a little child, to take yourself through faith that you can, because you will, achieve this. You must believe in yourself. Believe in thyself, for you are created in the same image of that of the great Creator. Take a look around at the world that you live in and all that it is composed of. You have a gift within yourself, and that is to create. You can create, at least through results, through action. And it doesn't have to be a big step. Everything starts with the smallest of actions. As long as this action is oriented towards your dream or desire. That is what we call progress. Even if there is a setback, you're still on the same channel that is taking you towards that dream. Anything that lies outside of this channel is deviation, and it will not take you there. You must use faith as a conduit to get yourself there. Please understand this truth. I am but an ambassador of the knowledge that has been shared from many different successful men in their lives. They have publicly stated that they believe in this. I believe in it too, and I've seen great changes in my own life by the simple application of faith, a positive oriented paradigm, and discarding all negative things. Life becomes rather simple and extremely exciting too, as you will start to build great motivation that comes from faith. Believe that you can do and achieve everything you can. You have perhaps more tools, more knowledge, more resources, more information than any of these men back then. And they came up with ideas that people thought was childish, unreasonable, impossible. Just look at what kind of technological advancements we have readily available for us that we may use in our advantage in order to align and capture with infinite intelligence and their ideas that contain such potential energy, infinite potential energy, and it's only action that you need to put, but you need faith. Without faith, you will always fail. And if you have failed, which failure is described as giving up completely, this is abandoning the staircase, going away from faith. Then you will be wretched, and you will engage again in negative oriented paradigms. Which will only give you then negative results. You will become again unhappy, unhealthy, and unwealthy rather soon. Choose to fight. Choose to believe. Just like they did. It was not easy. They did not have much. In fact, many of them had nothing. But they believed. With all their hearts. They truly believed they could achieve their dreams. And so will you. Thank you so much for watching. And be on well.